Clinical trial data is the backbone of modern drug development. Every decision about a medicine's safety and effectiveness depends on how accurately this data is collected, managed, analyzed, and submitted to regulatory authorities. But have you ever wondered what actually happens to clinical trial data from the moment a patient enters a study until the final regulatory submission? Let's understand the complete flow of clinical trial data from patient enrollment to database lock and final submission. The process begins with patient enrollment. Before a patient can participate in a clinical trial, they must meet specific inclusion and exclusion criteria defined in the study protocol. Once eligibility is confirmed, the patient signs an informed consent form which ensures they understand the purpose, risks, and benefits of the study. After enrollment, the patient receives a unique identification number to maintain confidentiality and allow accurate tracking throughout the trial. Next comes data collection. During each study visit, investigators collect various types of information such as medical history, laboratory results, vital signs, adverse events, and treatment responses. Traditionally, this information was recorded on paper case report forms or CRFs. Today, most studies use electronic data capture systems, commonly called EDC systems, which allow data to be entered digitally in real time. Companies like MedDRA Solutions and Oracle provide widely used clinical data management platforms for this purpose. Once data is entered into the EDC system, the next step is data validation and cleaning. This is one of the most critical phases of clinical data management. The system automatically performs edit checks to identify missing values, incorrect formats, or inconsistencies. For example, if a patient's age is entered as 250 years, the system immediately flags it as an error. In addition to automated checks, clinical data managers manually review the data and raise queries whenever clarification is needed. These queries are sent back to the study site where investigators review and correct the information if necessary. At the same time, other data sources are integrated into the study database. This includes laboratory data, imaging data, electronic patient-reported outcomes, and safety reports. Now comes medical coding. Adverse events and medications reported during the study must be standardized using global coding dictionaries such as MedDRA and WHO Drug Dictionary. This ensures consistency in analysis and regulatory reporting. After coding, the data undergoes reconciliation. Different data sets, especially safety and laboratory data, are compared to ensure consistency across systems. Any discrepancies are investigated and resolved before moving forward. Once the data is considered accurate and complete, the study enters the stage known as database lock. Database lock is a major milestone in every clinical trial. At this point, all queries are resolved, all corrections are completed, and the data is finalized. After the database is locked, no further changes can be made unless formally authorized and documented. This locked database becomes the official source for statistical analysis. The next step is data analysis. Biostatisticians analyze the finalized data according to the statistical analysis plan. They evaluate endpoints, compare treatment groups, assess safety findings, and determine whether the study objectives were achieved. The results are then summarized in tables, listings, and figures that support clinical study conclusions. These outputs are used to prepare the Clinical Study Report or CSR, which provides a complete summary of the trial, including methodology, patient demographics, efficacy results, and safety outcomes. The CSR becomes a key component of regulatory submissions to agencies like the US Food and Drug Administration and the European Medicines Agency. Finally comes the regulatory submission phase. The clinical trial data, along with supporting documents, is organized into the Common Technical Document Format or CTD and submitted electronically as eCTD. Regulatory authorities review this data carefully to evaluate whether the medicine is safe, effective, and suitable for approval. Today, advanced technologies like artificial intelligence and automation are also improving this workflow by accelerating data review, identifying risks earlier, and improving data quality. The flow of clinical trial data is a highly structured and controlled process. It starts with patient enrollment, followed by data collection, validation, coding, reconciliation, database lock, statistical analysis, and finally regulatory submission. Every stage plays a critical role in ensuring data integrity, patient safety, and reliable scientific conclusions.
Subscribe to MedPharma Global on YouTube. Get the latest medical and pharmaceutical updates. Click the subscribe button and join our community.